this is Angel here with the Natural Lifestyle Show. Today I want to talk to you about raw foods. My husband and I have been eating raw foods for a few months now, and we've had a lot of success with it. And I want to share with you our experience and my research. I have studied a few different raw food diets, and first of all I'm going to tell you about the four main ones that I have studied. The first one is Ann Wigmore's diet. She had a lot of success with turning people's health around for the better with her diet, which consisted of living foods, which all raw food diets are. She did a lot of sprouting, a lot of wheatgrass. Her main focus was vegetables and basically juicing, not so much the fruit, nuts and seeds, sprouted grains, and crackers, dehydrated snacks, things like that. So that is Ann Wigmore's diet in a nutshell. And the second one is basically a high-fat gourmet raw food diet. And in this diet, people basically try to recreate the traditional foods that they've eaten in a raw food way, which they can have some delicious things, but the thing about it is high-fat, digestion not so good. So in the long run, I would not go that route personally. The third kind of diet that I believe a lot of raw fooders may do is just a non-specific diet. They may just eat anything that's raw, just say, hey, it's okay, I'm on a raw food diet, so if it's raw, I'll eat it, and not really care too much about what they're eating. And the fourth one that we are very familiar with is the 80-10-10 diet, which is basically a low-fat, high-carb, raw vegan diet. This is the one that my husband and I have been doing for a few months now, and we've had a tremendous amount of success with it. The basics of the 80-10-10 diet is that fruit is your main source of carbohydrates, 80% carbs, 10% protein, 10% fat. You could do your carbs higher and your fat and protein lower, but that's the ratio that you should stay in if you're following this diet. And like I said, we've had a lot of success. Basically, eat your fruit all day, greens for dinner, and generally we don't have a problem doing that. You're allowed nuts and seeds every day if you want, or you could just, like I do, go several days without eating any nuts and seeds or any fats. And like on the weekend I'll have a guacamole at Whole Foods. I don't sit there and say, well, is that too much? Because I'll know that I haven't had fat several days in the week, so I can do that. Some of the benefits I've had on this diet, I know my husband's had weight loss. I don't really know what else. He could probably tell you a lot more, and he probably will later on. Myself, I've lost about 20 pounds so far in just a few months, and that's a big thing for me because I've been a vegetarian, vegan for a long time, and just never could lose the weight. And now I can, and I'm very grateful for that. My skin has gotten much, much clearer, much softer, and also my energy is high. I mean, when I first started doing this, I was so shocked, like the first week or whatever. I was like, it felt so weird to have so much energy, and I was like, thought something was wrong, and the energy just never went away, and it's great. It is great. That in itself is just a great thing. My moods are a lot steadier for the most part. I just don't get as upset about things as I used to, and I'm more peaceful, a lot more peaceful, and a lot more empathetic toward other people too. I mean, it's just, I believe that some foods probably aggravate people and cause like mood swings and whatever. And I think that I know I've always been very sensitive to that, to foods, doing that. Improved digestion. Digestion is no issue at all eating this way, low fat, high carb, raw vegan. It's no issue, it's wonderful. Like I said, I've lost 20 pounds so far, and yeah. Okay, and I've had problems with asthma. They are pretty much gone, thank God. I'd had issues with my lymphatic system. That is, I would say, at least 80-90% better. I believe that exercising and rebounding really helps out with that, but what you put in your body plays a huge part. Less mucus, that might sound a little gross, but it's true. A lot of foods are mucus forming, and on this diet, the fruit actually cleans out, mucus and deposits in your digestive system. And my blood sugar levels are normal. I'd had PCOS, insulin resistance. My blood sugar levels don't go over 100. Yeah, they've gone down. I mean, if they do, it's just very slightly. And I've actually done a comparison kind of on accident when we first started up this way of eating. At first I was worried, fruit, sugar, is my blood sugar going to go up? So I would check it a lot, and every time I checked it, it was low. And so one day, one weekend, we had gotten a pizza with just the sauce on it. And it was like a day when I was, cheating. And I took my blood sugar after that, and guess what? It was like higher than it had been in weeks. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, it's because of the bread. Hey, Xavier. And so that's proof to me that bread makes my blood sugar go up even more than a piece of sweet fruit. So, I mean, that's amazing. That's truly amazing. It's not what you would typically think. So, I mean, there's just so many benefits, and one, my main goal, my main benefit is having my system cleaned out right now, because, I unknowingly was eating in a bad way for a lot of my life. And so the fruits really cleaning out the system. The greens providing a lot of minerals and building material. And it's just really healthy for me right now. I would like to explore some of the aspects of the Ann Wigmore diet. It looks good to me. I would keep it on the low-fat side. I don't really know how it would work out, being that it's kind of a low-fruit diet, but I would like to incorporate some of the fermented foods into my diet, and I have plans to do that. But I'm happy with the way we're doing now. I really am. So, in conclusion, really I just believe that a raw food diet of any kind is more beneficial than the way I was eating, because number one, the enzymes, the foods have living enzymes in them, so that means that my body's not having to take enzymes from other functions and sending it to my stomach to digest a heavy meal. It can use those enzymes to function, to heal, whatever it needs to do. The theories that I really believe in as far as diet is I believe in the high carb, because I have so much energy from it. So I'm a firm believer in the high carb, and like I said, 80-10-10 is a book to read about that. That's the raw vegan, high carb, low fat lifestyle. If I was not doing that, I would probably go more along the lines of John McDougall. He wrote The Starch Solution, and in that book, he has a lot of recipes and things. He focuses on starches, potatoes, beans, any starch. That would be the mainstay of the diet on his plan. I know that everybody has to discover what's best for them on their own. I certainly have throughout my life. We've been through so many different paths to get where we are now, and it's exciting for me because I'm finally seeing healing in my body, and I look younger than I have. I'm losing weight, and my health is improving. I mean, why would I turn back from this? It's just a good thing. And one thing I've done that's been helpful to me, and I believe it was in the 80-10-10 book, is to use the chronometer.com, and you can put in what you eat that day, and it'll tell you, how many calories, fat, protein, all that. And you can even put in that you're doing the high carb, low fat, raw vegan diet, and it will put the proportions, let you know how you're measuring up to those proportions. So that's a very helpful tool, and I've used that. So I just wanted to give you a basic understanding of raw foods, because I believe it may be helpful to you, especially since it took me reading several books, reading several articles, watching lots of videos, all kinds of things just to get this like understanding here. I'm doing lots of other research, but this is just a bit here that I wanted to share with you today. And subscribe to our channel, like the video, visit our website, and we're glad to see you today. Talk to you soon. Bye.